Focus on some quick hits so that you are not just seen as a person who is only discussing and telling, but you're also demonstrating success.
Bringing your expertise and your sort of vision of how you would fulfill the purpose of the company.
Ultimately, it's a question of trust. And if there is some discomfort in terms of working together, then there has to be a very high degree of openness to bring that issue up.
I think the important thing is that you come into any new situation with humility to first understand the good things about the history, good things about the organization.
I think the first thing is to actually admit or realize that it's a completely different setting than what one is used to. You're not sitting with professionals in the room to discuss issues, but you may be sitting with a professional, also a very large stakeholder or a shareholder in that room. So that shareholder actually has built the organization with a lot of sweat and hard work. It's important to know that and realize that. Second is build trust with the promoters is extremely critical in the early years. Take your time, settle down a bit. Second is, I think, focus on some quick hits so that you are not just seen as a person who is only discussing and telling, but you're also demonstrating success.
My first sort of ask of that CEO would be getting to know the company, getting to know the business, getting to know the family stakeholders within the enterprise and understanding pushes and pulls and the passion. Two, I think bringing your expertise and your sort of vision of how you would fulfill the purpose of the company, and having a frank discussion about it with promoters or the owners who are stakeholders either on the board, and aligning that, I think, is pretty critical. And in that alignment, velocity of what you expect to do is probably the most critical, because I think many a times leaders get what they want to do correct, how they want to do correct, but they may be mistimed, so to speak, in some sense of word.
Ultimately, it's a question of trust. And if there is some discomfort in terms of working together, then there has to be a very high degree of openness to bring that issue up. If I'm not doing something in the right manner, which I had decided to do with the MD should take the freedom to come to me that this is what we had discussed and you're doing differently. So openness and trust are very, very important. You need to take it up with the MD and the chairman have to interact with each other. I mean, they work cohesively in spite of some hiccups in between.
Whether you're in the same industry or a different industry, whether you've had amazing experience or not, I think the important thing is that you come into any new situation with humility to first understand the good things about the history, good things about the organization, then start to say that, hey, what are the things I need to change? I think the second thing is about recognizing the value that each person brings to the table. Recognizing the value the founder, the promoter brings, the CEO brings, the team brings, and how do you sort of keep that in a beautiful balance and not feel like you need to be the single star, but you need to be part of a team of stars.
I think for the CEO, my view is he's got to be spiritually quite strong about this, because he's going to get his 4-5% take, right? He's going to get his ESOPs. Goals are very clear because they're set by the private equity firm or the board. He's got to know that I'm just going to work for the results, okay? And he will have to give adequate respect to the promoter and literally treat him like an executive chairman, even if he's not. If the CEO is going to be hung up on, I did this, my success only attribute to me, then he's not going to work with the promoter. Look, the promoter built the business in 4 decades, yeah? So, you can't ignore his wisdom and his knowledge. So I think the CEO has to respect what the promoter is in a way giving him on a platter, engage with him constructively and give him the respect more openly rather than in closed doors.